to meet the candidate. My guest for this session is Michael Cathcart. Welcome, Michael.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And I'll start right in with my first question, which is where did you grow up and go to school?
Yeah, well, I grew up around here. I was actually born in the Valley, and for college, I went to Montana State University, so traveled over there and did that, studied media there. Did a lot of poli-sci classes as well, but my focus was media in college.
Okay, that I didn't realize that. I think
Yeah.
I've known you for a while, but I didn't realize that's what you majored in.
Yeah, that's what it was.
What was your favorite class?
Boy, favorite class, probably, we did a lot of editing, directing type stuff, and for more narrative type.
Kind of drawn to the technical side a little bit?
Yeah,
shape
definitely. Yeah, I was more of a behind the camera sort of person. So,
okay. Well,
yeah.
now you're in front of the camera.
That's right, yeah.
So, when outside of school, there's lots of non-school activities, informal education that shapes how people see the world. What has shaped you as a kid and going on?
Oh, as a kid, I've done all kinds of things. As a kid, you do a lot of recreational sports. I did soccer and basketball and those sorts of things, and that was a lot of fun. In high school, and this sort of helped, I think, inform kind of my college choices. But I was in a program at my high school called Viable Vision, and it was sort of a student-run organization that produced videos for local organizations that wanted them and wanted to contribute towards our program.
Well, which school was that?
And this was at University High School.
University High School?
Yeah, and so I was my senior year, I was the president of that organization. And that was a really rewarding experience, kind of leading a group like that. And it was just a lot of fun to put a lot of these projects together and kind of lead the group and participate in a lot of that. So that was really informing. Besides that, just, in my daily life for the last few years, I've been doing a lot of CrossFit and Spartan races, and that's fun, and that really kind of just gives me a lot more energy and a lot more of kind of a zeal or zest for life.
My cousin is doing that as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm enjoying that a lot, and that's a lot of fun. But one thing kind of in my background, I guess, that I think is very helpful for what I'm pursuing here is, I at one time, when I had some more time, I was really involved in my neighborhood council, and I was chair and vice chair and the interim community assembly representative for the neighborhood that I was in. And so having that experience and working with, neighborhood activists and just concerned citizens, as well as the city council and other, city administrative folks, that's been really rewarding. And of course, through my different jobs and different things I've done, I've had a number of different roles with the city on some committees and some work groups and things like that, helping to inform the comp plan and some of the infill housing rules and things like that. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Is there some place that you've lived or traveled that's really influenced how you look at the world? Some anecdote that you like to tell people that explains your point of view?
Well, I don't know if this is quite what you're asking, but I'll tell you. So last December, I kind of made this spur of the moment decision to take a trip somewhere. I needed to get the heck out of Dodge and relax and just kind of refresh. And after investigating a lot of different options, I landed on Southeast Asia. And so on about 3 weeks' notice, I took a vacation for 12 days to Thailand. And part of it was in Bangkok, and then part of it was down on the beach. And that was a really interesting experience going down there and participating in that. But I'll tell you, the thing that really sticks out to me about that trip was the fact that I was venturing all over Bangkok on my own, late at night, just exploring. If I go somewhere, I want to explore, and usually on foot because I want to see things and take it all in. And I'll tell you what, I felt safer every corner of Bangkok, which doesn't have the greatest crime rate. I felt safer there than I do in parts of Spokane. And to me, that is not where we should be as a community. And so, and that's part of why I'm running. I just want to make sure that we're focused on some of these issues about community safety. But yeah, that was definitely something that really stuck out to me after that trip, was just how safe I felt. Foreign land in some of these very impoverished areas, and yet I never felt like I was at risk the whole time. And so I want to make sure that Spokane, folks in Spokane who live here are coming here from elsewhere feel that same way.
Well, it's a little bit off the script, but you were talking about your experience doorbelling and the anecdotes that you were getting from people that have to do with safety.
Yeah, I'll tell you, so I've been doorbelling a lot, and it has been heartbreaking, some of the stories you hear from folks. There was a lady I spoke to over near Bemis who was sharing with me that her neighbor on one side of her had been broken into twice in the last couple months. Her neighbor on the other side of her had been broken into once. She had a car that was prowled 3 different times. And in every instance, law enforcement really, wasn't capable of doing anything. They don't have the resources, and so they can't and won't, come out and investigate and pursue justice in those instances. And so that's a real frustrating situation for her. But she was just explaining this to me just in tears because she hasn't slept. She is scared to death that she's next, that her house is next. And it's hard to blame her. I mean, that's a real terrible situation to be in, and just to not know what's going on. So I think we've got a lot of stories like that are out there that folks just aren't uncovering. You really wonder, how many of these instances of crime are actually, getting reported. And because people know that there's just not a lot of investigation that's going to go on, and so do they even report them to the law enforcement? But also, I'll tell you what, the other thing I've noticed doorbelling, I think my district is single-handedly keeping the Ring doorbell in business, because I'll tell you, there are houses where you wouldn't expect to see a Ring doorbell, and they have a Ring doorbell, or they have
That's the
multiple
one that has the picture, the
security
camera.
cameras. Yeah. I mean, I think our district, I mean, they're folks that are protecting themselves. They know that if the city's not going to do it, they'll protect themselves, and God bless the folks that live there that are doing that, because that's what you got to do. And hopefully we can get to a point where they don't have to think that way quite so much.
Yeah, well, back on the script, that kind of answers the question of why volunteer to run for elected office, and it sounds like that maybe that trip to Thailand kind of triggered a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I just think the safety thing. I think the thing that really got to me was when those hearts got broken downtown. I share an office with Ronald McDonald House, and you just saw the destruction and just the senseless destruction of those hearts and what that caused. And of course, there were artists who had painted, these beautiful renderings on there, and that was destroyed and lost forever. And so that was really kind of a tipping point for me in my mind, I think, with the crime that we're experiencing here in Spokane. But it's not all about crime. I mean, we've got a lot of opportunities, I think, here if we can be really smart about how we tax and regulate ourselves and how we portray ourselves, because I think we could be a great place for startups to expand and employers to move here and relocate. And I really want to focus, I'm very passionate about, figuring out how do we improve upward mobility in Spokane? How do we make sure that we're bringing jobs that pay more than the median household income so that we can kind of raise everybody up? The Hilliard area, that's a big part of my district, is one of the most impoverished in the state. And if we have more opportunity to provide for those folks, I think they'll find that it's a much easier time to pull themselves out of poverty and improve their lives and improve, the way they live.
Okay, well, you've got that last minute for your elevator speech to tell people why should voters vote for Michael Cathcart for Spokane City Council District 1?
Well, look, I think we just really need to get back to focusing on the things that really matter, whether that's safety, making it easier for us to see more residential units go up so that we can solve the housing crisis, or whether that's just improving job numbers and job pay so that more folks can pull themselves up out of poverty. And so I think I'm the right guy at the right time that can help lead on some of these issues, and I'm really hopeful that I can earn the vote of the people in my district over the next few months. And if they want to learn more, they can visit my Facebook page, facebook.com/votecathcart, or the website, which is just votecathcart.com.
All right. Well, thank you for coming in, Michael.
Thank you. I appreciate it.